ENCE making this semi-final look as easy as you would expect here in the first map. A dominant victory over Heroic on their map pick 16-7. We now go over to Nuke. Now this is Heroic's pick. This is their chance to bounce back, but as known, ENCE do like a bit of Nuke.
They're a pretty good Nuke team, let's be real. Optic, I would regard as slightly better on Nuke than Heroic, and they got 16-13 against the good old boys on ENCE. And ENCE looked pretty solid on that map, so I think this could go all the way. A slight advantage to ENCE, but very, very slight one in my opinion.
We do know at least Sicilian came in our green room earlier and did say that they were confident coming into the second map, that the first one hadn't phased them. So there's definitely still the confidence in the Heroic camp that we're aware of. Maybe they have some tricks up their sleeve and are going to be able to show it here. But the odds on GG Bet certainly favouring ENCE. And to be fair, I think after what we saw from Train, that doesn't surprise me.
What do you think the odds are of us getting the actual trophy back?
I don't know, dude. It's been stolen. It's been given to a BYSC guy, so...
I think DreamHack just solved how to do like live content while ad breaks are on. Like that was some of the best live content I've seen in a while.
We were just sitting in the green room like laughing our arse off. Yeah, that was really, really funny.
Oh, like I don't know how, but How to Basic somewhere how has made his way into DreamHack.
Man, his day rates are expensive. Yeah. Christ. Either way, we are getting into this one in just a second. Of course, Nuke, then Mirage being that third map, if we do go the full distance. The first semi-final certainly didn't. We have Bravado taking a victory there. So, obviously the winner of this going to face Bravado. I think that's such an interesting game, such a cool game. And as said before the matchup, right, these two teams are probably the best teams coming into the event, that being Heroic and
on
ENCE.
paper, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And also ENCE, like one thing we saw at the stats, they're really good on pistol rounds. 9-5 in stats. Usually that's around 50-50, but this event, they're definitely taking that into their favor. But yeah, Nuke, an interesting map. Comes down to a lot of the teams they want to do on the T side. They want to do the outside control. They want to put down that smoke wall or some variation of it. There's basically 3 different variations you can do outside. Take that secret control. It all comes down to when you actually execute into the bomb site. That's where the real battles begin and how much utility you have to get your way into, let's say, secret. Do you have the flashes? Do you have the molotovs to get your way all the way into the bomb site? Or you have to rely on direct duels? Because if you don't have full utility on T side, you need to straight up win duels. And Sicilian getting the boys hyped. See that on the camera there?
They're all looking very happy. They're all looking very smiley on the heroic side of things. So that is certainly good coming into this one. Mentality going to play a big factor, but so will the frags. And we're heading into this one. Nuke, map number 2. It could be the final map of the semi-finals, or they could just be beginning. Let's find out as we head into this one. It's full armor on the Heroic side of things. ENCE have got a lot of utility for a T-side pistol. What have they got at their sleeves? It looks like a fast A-rush. Ali's going straight in. Freiburg, he may have found that first up on the squeaky door, but he gets overwhelmed by the second. Sicilian on top of the hut, only for a modicum of a moment. It's S-Tag on the site with 2, dropping the bomb. Alu trading, and just like that, into a 2-on-2.
Trading their way into the bomb site, but bomb has not yet been planted. Good position here from ERTH. Nicely done by Modi now. It's all on Alu. 1v2, knows the position of ERTH, and will he predict the one on the top of the side? He will, but not able to take the frag. 1v2 still. And the CTs are just holding the bomb. Playing it very conservatively. No reason to overpeak, overextend. Hold your angles, play headshot, even though you know he's tagged.
Yeah, this is just giving them the time to set up exactly how they want to. Modi going to drop onto the site. They're going to double peek it. And, oh, he spotted it. He knows they're there, trying to force a 1v1, but surely they won't give it to him. He gets the dink, but Mert swoops in. A Formula 1 wide peek there to pick up the pistol round for Heroic. Nice work considering ENCE just went for a rampant pace into that bomb site. They didn't even slow down to set up the main smoke and the nades. They just charged on in. And that will be them, Heroic picking up the pistol round regardless. Exactly what they needed, not only with ENCE being very good at pistol rounds statistically, as you said, but also the fact that they're up a map.
Statistics tell us that both of these teams are pretty good on Nuke. I think it's a 6-4 and a 7-3 for these two teams individually on this map. So both very, very talented, 60 to 70% win rate. ENCE, funnily enough, actually are best on the T side on Nuke, which is something that goes a little bit against the meta. See how they can do here. This is just going to be the eco push. The goal is to get the bomb down, but that's not going to be accomplished. Heroic sets it down, and the full eco means that they have the potential of a buy here. The ENCE players on the T side.
Yeah, but Heroic is still running SMGs. No casualties in that last round, so Bit of a bonus for them potentially coming into this third. That's fine. Again, if you have a flawless second round, you can play bonus on the third. If you win it, that's great. You upgrade to AKs. If you lose it, buy up everything in the next round. Get that AWP in the hands of Mertz, because right now he's just still on the scout. Surrounded by SMGs. Only one M4 here from the CT side, but we've got AKs up and a great nade to begin things.
Alexi B down to 19 HP already. I think that was through the spam.
Yeah.
And we've seen that more and more coming in, especially in this tournament. Spam through the hot, then spam through the door. Smoke setup outside, as said before, this is one of the 3 variants. Will allow one T player for now to go into secret, but the rest of the team actually not going in there. It's impossible to know for Heroic to say how many players are down now. Freiburg already with 1 smoke down, gonna hold it for now. But the explosion is not gonna come towards secret, it's gonna come here towards ramp.
Is that split towards B, given the fact that they've got that lower control? Mertz tries to hold on to it from the CT spawn, tries to watch for any over-facing towards hell. There's a flash in, tag, but not that much damage from it. Must have clipped the wall there. Alu's only down to 60. Modi still lurks down on this B bomb site with Freiburg, and S-Tag, well, he's pushed up into main, into lobby rather, with Isilian, and they've both taken a kill. So now Heroic have a man advantage, and they were aware that ENCE is somewhat down towards this B bomb site. The only potential wrap could be a heaven play, but Mertz is still covering that one. So ENCE, I mean, all the information and the pick is in the hands of Heroic. There's no utility really left for ENCE. They get 1 frag, but this bomb plant's going to be very difficult, because look at the man, Decon. Freiburg, he's down. That's a big loss. And ENCE, they're suddenly pulling their way back into this round. Heroic down by 2.
And smoke for the plant, so that's going to go down without any doubt. Molotov still on Sergey, and only a couple of flashbangs remaining on the CT side, and ENCE, they're winning the duels. And that's the difference in this round. Yes, Heroic had all the information, had good map control, had good positions. They didn't win the duels, mainly down to just straight up aim, but also down to the weaponry that was in this round.
Yeah.
A lot of AKs against MP9s, UMPs, scouts, and all that stuff. But then again, this is just the bonus round for Heroic. The next buy is going to come after this.
Yeah, that could have been a really nice kill from Freiburg, but unfortunately, as you said, only an SMG, only an MP5, so did lose that duel. These guys will survive here in the scene, you don't take damage from that corner, so first round for ENCE. But as mentioned, coming into this round is we're going to have that full buy fine for Heroic. They're going to have the AWP potentially. I think they just had enough money on Mertz, but oh no, they didn't. They only had 3,000 coming into that round, so no AWP, but they will have a buy somewhat if they want to.
4 M4s and 1 Galil that was saved. Actually, they're gonna go 1 FAMAS, so Modi he can get flash and nade, no, smoke and nade as well. So opting to go for more utility than firepower in this regard, and a lot of smokes on the CT side. No smoke outside for the T side. They're just gonna go straight for secret control without any smoke setup. It's going to cost them a bit, but now ENCE spraying away, and Freiburg joining into the fray as well. X7 with an answer back. 4v2.
Bomb dropped in the open as well as the biggest issue of this round. S-Tag still firing off towards the silo player. If he can get this kill, this round might just be done like that, but it's also very dangerous. He's tagged up, so it's Mertz, but Modi finishing off the frag instead means that this is looking solidified on the flank. X7 trying to rally back to get this trade kill, but Modi is above and beyond. Being on down, that's a second kill from him. Modi will pick it up for Heroic. 3-1, they find that reset.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you use the smoke setup outside when you want to take map control. Like, yeah. I know, yes, you can have a lucky timing and you can get down there without using those 2-3 smokes, but if you don't, it leaves S-Attack open for doing something like this. It's just a way of saying, okay, we're going to invest this money and these smokes into crossing without losing any members of our team. Yes, might take some damage through the smoke, but surely not going to lose any players. ENCE, they overextend themselves. They think they can get down, but it's not possible.
Ooh, that's almost a good nade. 81 HP left on Alexa B. Just makes these M4s a little bit better. Dink is no longer going to be a problem. 1 shot to the head. But, I mean, they've even taken AKs, so that's going to be happening regardless for a couple of players on Heroic. Nades in response go out towards main, but Freiburg's in a great position up close. Aerial has worked into the yard as well, so they're looking like ENCE want to go for this lobby crunch towards that A site, split it in through main. Only a couple of players here, but Vasilian going to assist Freiburg with a good smoke. There's a bit of a gap there. Gives Freiburg an angle to catch out maybe a close positioned ENCE player. They've got to worry about this man at the back of yard. S-Tag once again. He had a great previous map despite Heroic not being able to really find too much success. He's going to have to show us once more. Picking up X7 from the silo, he's drawing the attention, the flashbang over the top to allow for the peak, and now he can just fall back. They might try and chase him down, but Freiburg's in a spot to finish them off as they do in main. Aerial reloading. They still know he's close. There's a second player rotating onto the A site. Freiburg lines up one. Damage to the second. ENCE is still just being a complete nuisance. He's wasting so much time. 30 seconds up for ENCE, and they're just going to give up on this. They're going to go pushing into the A bomb site with only one more player committed towards the yard. ENCE getting rid of him very, very easily. Mertz is dropped at the back of the site, but there's still one man here, and ENCE is still firing at the back of the site, killing the player with a bomb. Sergey's run out of time, and that will be Heroic winning the round. What a sick play from ENCE. Just so annoying in the yard.
He is such a good player. And that's the thing, right? If you go back a year and a half, no one would have said, okay, ENCE is going to be like the star player on a Danish team that's like in the top 20 in the world. He is.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. Like straight up, he's been so, like he's improved so much over the last year and a half, 2 years.
I mean, think about how many players we saw come out of old Tricked. I'm talking like 2015, 2016 Tricked. The old one with Hunden, Yugi, ENCE, Nico from Optic.
Yep.
I mean, so many of these insane Danish players came from playing under not only that org, but that in-game leader of Hunden.
Definitely. And that's one of the things with Danish Counter-Strike, and one of the arguments why it's so strong is that the level below our pro teams, like our full salary, like compete almost at like every single big tournament teams, that level is really high. The Danish top 10 is, in my opinion, also of course super biased, but the best top 10 in the world. Like, a team that's number 7 in Denmark is still going to have the potential to be top 30 in the world.
Yeah, I don't think that's biased at all. Denmark's the best country in Counter-Strike right now. I think almost everyone would agree with that.
Sweden used to be a couple of years ago, but Denmark has taken over. Big respect to Sweden, of course. We are here now. We've got to pander to the crowd.
Yeah. Well, Existence, unfortunately, were knocked out earlier today by Bravado. Home crowd advantage not working there.
But then again, there's Freiburg. There's Marty on this team.
Yeah.
We can just do a good old unification of Denmark and Sweden, Kalmar Unionen. And then
no idea what that means.
It's some history, man. I'll teach you later.
Well, pistols for ENCE are charging down towards B. Not going to be too successful, as you can see. ENCE with 2 and Asilian with 1. Freiburg's dropped into the vents, and it's going to be Aerial running on away. There's not really much you can do, so just take the fight and get this round over and done with. Heroic only losing 1 player on the anti-eco. Nice start to this map. We did say that they expected to bounce back in this game, and currently it's looking very good for them.
Indeed. And also when you think about the fact that, like, statistically, ENCE are winning more rounds on their T side than their CT side. I haven't really seen any sort of argument from that. Like, ENCE's T side, in my opinion, so far hasn't been impressive at all. And that's saying with a, like, I'm saying like with a lot of respect for the players on ENCE. Mertz is trying to go aggressive outside, and that's the play that they just can't allow. They can't allow Mertz to get this kind of space attack on the top of red. He's going to get a free frag here, but Alexi answering back. attack maybe a tight bit off there. Mertz rotating back. They're going to play the 4v4. Freiburg dive into the vent. That step was hurt by Alu, so he's going to be able to call, okay, they're going to have 1 secret or 1 vent.
And that's the value of those outside smokes. Heroic think that there could be people down B. There isn't anyone down B. ENCE about to hit this A site. Freiburg will spawn it though. He won't be able to find the kill, but the man above is going to be able to shoot on down, getting himself 1. Asilian looking for more, but he's aware of that split from main, and X7 coming in with the frag. Alexi B with a double. And that's a nice round from ENCE. Really good work from Alexi B, not only killing 1 player outside who should have had a free kill, as you said, but also catching those rotations through heaven on A.
More importantly, not going 007. He was 006 before this round.
Really? Well, that's...
and that's the most important frag you can get, Hugo. It is the frags, and you don't go 007. And you get 3 of them. Very nice of them.
Yeah, winning ENCE a rifle round here. If they follow up with another, it would break Heroic's money, so... I think they're aware, and they want to go very, very fast, at least in towards a vent dive. Alexi B going to be abusing this early spawn to get into the B bomb site. Now, there is a man here, but does ENCE know that he's so up close? It doesn't look like it. He's walking into his death. Alexi B with another key entry here for ENCE, and now it's the outside split with the smokes down. They will be committing towards the lower site. A second entry kill coming through, and things are looking very good for ENCE.
The last round and this round has been looking very, very nice for the T side. They are abusing what you can do on the T side. You can go for that aggressive play. You can go for that vent dive. You can use your smokes outside, get into secret. Asilian and the boys will either have to straight up save or go in and take some very hot duels.
And the best part about just going for an instant secret rush like that is you're going to have so much utility left over. That's why we just have an instant double molly, and that double molly solidifies the round. That makes the road go, okay, we can't peek, we can't get a pick, and by the time those mollies fade, the bomb's half ticked, so we need to save. And that's exactly what they'll do. ENCE are not chasing too heavily, considering they've yet to build up too much of an economy, but they're watching the yard at least.
And that's how it is, like, go for an early smoke push, get into the vent, 2 smokes outside to cut off the rotation into secret, and then just 1 smoke for the plant, 1 smoke left over.
Now, the money of Heroic's in a bit of an awkward spot because we've got 3 guns saved, but because that's the second loss in a row, they've only got 2,000 per player on every player. So if you want to buy around this, it really screws your next round up. On the flip side, you can go for that eco on those 2 dead players and have 3 rifles and 2 USPs and then have a full buy in the upcoming round, but they want to commit to it. They bring in 2 SMGs and a lot of utility behind it.
Confidence is still high on the Heroic side, but investing a lot of money into this. Mert's the only one with cash left over. Makes a lot of sense thinking about what happened in the last round. A very important round right now. Once again, smoke setup outside. ENCE is very aggressively up and towards this position. He's actually going to play behind the door. Muddy finds one, trades on ramp. Is Mertz going to be able to come in with the AWP? Take this angle. Ooh, doesn't get the kill. ENCE though with the door position does get the kill onto Aerial, and he's picked up an AK rotating in towards this lower bomb site. He's going to get peeked from the window. This is a perfect angle from Sergey. Quick 2 kills him in.
Yeah, baits him in with the bomb plant, and although X7 gets killed immediately, Sergey's able to retrieve 2 frags. So ENCE now back in this round in a 2-on-2. They had lost the advantage due to S-Tag with an SMG and upgrading to the AK. Now Mertz not convinced this is B after all. They could have gone back up ramp. They could have flanked Heaven. ENCE could be really anywhere right now, and Heroic, while they have an assumption, they have no information to play off of. Sergey, oh, he tries to sneak silently, but gives up with that after making a bit of noise.
Also, they don't have a smoke for the plant. So Freiburg lets the plant go down.
You can see he didn't want to make the mistake that he made a couple of rounds ago to peek earlier and go down, especially not in a 2-on-2 on the retake. Mertz is going to be coming in with the AWP. They're taking their time. They've got a kit to play with and 2 smokes to cut off ENCE, but they've yet to even realize where these Ts are in the post plant. Freiburg starting to clear things out. A strong crossfire for the finish, but they've yet to even see a Heroic player flash out the window.
Oh, they know now. They know both of the positions of the CT players. This should be over. This should be over. There's no chance of Mertz. He can do damage, yes, and take economy away from the C side, but there should be no time. Also, he's dead.
A little bit close for comfort, but yeah, Heroic is taking a lot of time to get into those positions. The reason you would be doing that if you're Heroic is you're expecting players in positions like where Sergey is in this kill cam. You're expecting players in the window room, in the back of Secret, but because there's no one there, you've just wasted 20 seconds clearing dead angles.
And also, ENCE playing it correctly, drawing away from the bomb site, rotating away from it at least with 1 player, so that if something happens, and if you lose a straight 1v1 and now has to play 2v1, you can do it from the ramp. The time is on the opponent. They have to go in for the defuse, and that ramp position, even if they have a smoke, pretty much in your favor. Another timeout comes in. This one is the Heroic. First timeout that they're drawing here on Nuke.
This is fine though. They will have 1 eco, considering they force bought that previous round after the save. And after 1 more eco, they're just going to be able to buy up at 5-5. So it's not all bad for Heroic. They give away a 5th to ENCE, as we know they are strong on the T side.
And Mertz saved 2k in that last round because he didn't have to rebuy the AWP, so he's going to have AWP and utility for that next buy. No worries. But this one should be rather one-sided. ENCE going to go outside control, which is fair. You have AKs, you have long-range advantage. Go outside where you can use that advantage.
Bit of a ramp stack here. Bit unorthodox for Heroic. Not a position that ENCE are focusing on at the moment, though. They're trying to take Secret. There's 1 man down there. It is Freiburg. He's about to realize all of this if they do commit towards going lower. And ENCE, I don't think they're trying to hide this too much. You just got to make sure they're methodical.
Ooh, again, the same angle.
Angles.
Yeah. That's the problem, because that angle was just used by ENCE 1 or 2 rounds ago with the UMP-45, so surely they're going to straight check that.
Now it's the heavy rotate down B. Heroic realizing this is a lower take. Aerial's already here. Alexa B lines up 1. It's actually a team kill for Alex. Bit of a mistake, but up against pistols, it still shouldn't be a huge problem. I say that. S-Tag's dropped another. They can bail from this site, but that would mean them giving up these rifles, but they've dropped over, and S-Tag is not stopping.
That's huge.
Drive-by shooting in the vents. Sergey, he's lost the bomb down below, and S-Tag's watching up above. This is going to require a miracle for ENCE. There's got only 25 seconds left on the clock. The flank gets caught by ESTAG. He is going absolutely ridiculous here. Finished off. Sergey finds 2. He's got time. Just enough to run back up towards A. And the other player, Mertz, down in the depths below. Won't be able to stop this part, but he can win the 1v1.
52 HP on Mertz, 19 on Sergey. And Sergey has a bunch of utility. Deep nade onto the side. Sergey has this one on lockdown.
Nice. Good position. Great post plant as well. The bomb was open. He comes back in from the wrap anyway.
Still a good eco nonetheless. Great economical damage done by Heroic. Sergey with the heroic play to do it all on his own. ENCE attack once again, showing why he is the star player on this team. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, what a ridiculous clutch. What a nice round from ESTAG. There's such a shame to see that slip out of his fingers. He got, what, 3 kills there. Not going to be able to close it out. It's a fast play into A. That Molotov does do a lot of damage, but the flashbang's so good. Fiber can't convert any of the kills off the back of his incendiary. Sergey finds the opening frag, and although he's tagged up, there's still no trade in play for Heroic. They're watching for ENCE. As the bomb goes down, Modi comes back in from the heart. He's not going to be ready for that close position. Sergey still not getting the kill. In the meantime, X7 has traded 1-for-1 as well. Alexaby going down as Heroic, with 2 players in the heaven, are just going to forfeit. They're bailing. They're running away. It's going to be ENCE taking a 6th round, and Alu's even firing bullets in the back of these skulls as they attempt to exit. He might be able to catch out this AWP. No.
Mertz still alive, still kicking. Lottie taken out, so they'll only bring an AWP.
If that.
If allowed. Into this next round, missed by Mertz, but it's always hard with those windows in the AWP. They know exactly where he is. Lands the first one, second one will be pushing in, and Ran will kill him. That's going to be Sergey. So taking all the weapons away from the CT side, but also losing 4 of their own, so they have to rebuy. But I feel like ENCE are pretty happy at this moment just to deny the chances of Heroic, even though it means that they have to spend all their own money.
I mean, it's 5 rounds in a row now for ENCE, so losing all your guns, while not optimal, is not the end of the world, right? You'd much rather trade and screw Heroic's money while also taking a bit of a hit yourselves. They've still got cash to fall back on, somewhat.
Yeah, it's like, that's the thing, right? It's a high reward. It's also a high risk compared to the fact that you don't have, let's say, 5, 10K in the bank on everyone. But the reward is so great that it's not a problem going for it.
Again, a ramp stack for Heroic. They're just going to keep trying this because ENCE didn't see it last time. They saw those B rotates, so ENCE should somewhat be aware of Heroic doing this before, but to run it again, that's a bit crazy. However, it's the same setup from ENCE in this round, apart from they've actually got 4 players in lobby. It's Aerial going down B. They could definitely split ramp if Aerial calls that, you know, the B site's looking like an option right now, and this is where these pistols could really be dangerous.
Noddy, Cillian, and all the boys positioned towards the ramp. But for now, it looks like an inside explosion.
Yeah.
For ENCE, X7 just holding the angle. Molotov on the top of hut. It's not really going to burn anyone.
And that flash, just a lone flash, even though nothing is following up behind it, that will keep these Heroic players in this position.
Them, yeah.
And it's just a complete fake. 30 seconds as ENCE creep into the bomb site, and now Heroic is starting to realize, okay, they threw all these nades, but nothing came from it. Yeah. There's definitely no one here.
With 25 seconds to go, and nothing has come around, you know it's going to come another place. It's going to be inside. X7 is just mopping them up.
And ENCE definitely now have this information that Heroic like to stack ramp on the on the ecos rather. That's 2 rounds that they've seen rotations out of ramp. 1 down towards B, 1 in radio.
And this is more and more looking like what we expected to see from ENCE on this T side. It's what I said before, like they like to win their rounds on the T side. They have a really solid T nuke. And in these last, what it's been like 6 rounds in a row, looking very good for them.
But we do have another buy-in for Heroic. It's everything they would have wanted and more. AWP on Mertz. We've got the Organ Asilian. He's been using that a lot here in Sweden. Aerial's going fast outside. We've got close positions. Look at ESTAG. Oh, he's in a really good spot. The problem... Oh, no, sorry. I thought he was outside of main. He's actually inside of it. Getting naded.
Just holding it very defensively. Aerial. Trying to make his way downstairs. Freiberg holding the smoke. Aerial forced to go back and at least hold his position for now. No further map control can be taken. What's the call here for ENCE? He's still got one smoke and a bunch of Molotovs left. That smoke could be for the plant downstairs. Molotovs to shuffle out positions. And that's exactly what it's going to be used for. Friberg pushed back, but he throws one of his own, stifling the push for now. Interesting choice. Molotovs is extinguished, but the smoke pops, keeping Friberg away from the angle.
It's the same play again from ENCE, an inside push with a flank coming up from the vent. Asilian's in probably the best spot to deal with this one, considering it's very hard to look up when you come out through the hut. Asilian shuts them both down. That vent split is not going to be finding too much success here, but Aerial actually does get a kill after all. Asilian's dropped inside of the hut, and they know it as well. They're very aware, but they don't want to keep pushing on. Alu's taking a kill down B, and Aerial catches that rotate as Asilian assumes they're both down on the lower bomb site. That's exactly where Modi is now, and he's going to try and stop the plant, but with no nades to get rid of that man behind the silo. He may know his position, but knowing is half the battle.
Yeah, the silo guy just has to basically bait, and that's going to be the double peak. What a turnaround. Asilian with a great defense, but not able to keep it going.
What was that, 2-on-5, 2-on-4? Something crazy.
I think it was 2-on-4.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous stuff from ENCE. Alu and Aerial getting it done. And that vent split had way more effect than I assumed it ever could, considering we had not only Asilian up in heaven, but a man playing CT vent. Crossfire on the bomb site. Asilian opens up with 2. And just like that, ENCE bounced back. So Heroic now, they are piecing together a buy. It is not the best of ones.
70 rounds in a row, Hugo, for ENCE. Not saying it's easy, but it's definitely not hard.
Yeah. They're making it look easy. Look at this outside stuff.
That is the magic of Finnish esports organization, ENCE.
Indeed. I like this setup.
Yeah. ENCE hasn't really abused that position from before. Mertz has been behind red, but he's going to be the bait, basically. See if he's going to swing wide. ENCE is holding the drop down. It's not going to be a swing. There's the swing. Flash timing is the name of the game. No spot towards ENCE. Free frag for him. Can he go for the second? He will. Really nice setup. Working perfectly just off one flash timing and positions. Yeah,
that's just why Mertz goes for the Emperor peak, because it sets up his teammate to do even more than he could with that SMG. Sergey.
2v5.
Oh dear.
Now 2v4.
We've had Alu and Aerial give it a go. Why not Sergey and Alexei as well? The brains and the brawn of this team coming in clutch in a 2-on-5. They've opened up the A site. They've got a plant. Bit of utility as well. Heroic need to make sure they play this one very carefully, very safe. And they will do so, all coming from heaven. This could be good. This could be coordinated. Sergey's found one, though. That's going to be a little bit of a problem. He's spotted more. He's definitely aware that there's at least 2 players up there now. He's going to catch one of them. Oh, no! Sergey's doing it all on his own. He's out of ammo. The trade's there for Modi, but the bomb, there's no kit, there's no gun. He's finally found one, but Alexei B's let it tick for so long. He's wrapped all the way round through main. And while Modi may know there's nothing he can do about it, he's got to run for the hills. Another 2-on-5 for ENCE.
History always rewrites itself, Hugo. If you don't learn from the mistakes, you're doomed.
Dear, oh dear. What a round to lose. Fantastic work from Sergey. Like, obviously, while, you know, Heroic shuffled out one by one.
Sergey's playing insane in this situation.
Yeah, you know, you shouldn't be getting like 3 kills there, or 2 kills even. Massive work.
He's even close to getting that one. It's like, it's only because he runs out of bullets.
Definitely. Wow.
And the force for the last round, which means not a lot of utility on the CT side. 2 kits, yes, but no Molotovs. 2 smokes left with 140 to go. While the T side, full utility on everyone, even secondary pistols, Tech 9s and everything. But Asilian, he wants it differently. Pushed all the way into main lobby, but doesn't see anyone. Calls this out. Says, okay, I got this on lockdown, guys. It's probably going to be an outside play. Be ready for it. That's why we see the rotation now coming in from Modi off screen. He's going into windows. They have a couple players towards this outside. One towards secret as well. That's Mertz. Modi baiting. And Mertz can open.
Ooh, they're not looking. There's nades in their hands. It's been swapped to a gun. The jump spot finds it. Aerial, he just loves a good old jump shot. Did hit the floor before that one, though. ENCE now with a man advantage once again. Looking to find double digits in the first half. Asilian's lobby push is still a factor to be aware of, but he's actually gone all the way down vents towards B to try and make up for the fact that Mertz has dropped here. Aerial's just holding it, just waiting. If Asilian walks up here, there's surely no way he wins this fight. It's a headshot angle with an AK-47. Oh, he misses the opening bout, and that's when Asilian dives back in. Great bait from Asilian, does get himself the trade into a 4-on-4. Time is running thin for ENCE, and they've got to run fast into that bomb site.
They have utility for the plant. Smoke towards left door, smoke towards the bomb site. His attack finds one on Alu, so it's 4v3, but it's going to be post-plant. The bomb is going to go down. And that shifts the advantage back over to ENCE, even though Heroic are coming in with a 4v3.
We've seen them win numerous disadvantageous positions, so do not ever count ENCE out. That's one thing we've learned right now. Crossfire again established. We have a player on ramp as well to deal with. One smoke left on Sergey. Throw that down towards the door and cut off one player on the flank. That's exactly what happens. Modi's no longer in position to do the work. He's got to rotate round. X7 waiting for the close peek from the window, and there it is, but the kills are flying in for Heroic. Select to be left alone, and he can't lead by example. It will be Heroic finding 6 rounds on the half. Decent, but definitely not what they would have wanted.
Yeah, ENCE going in and basically saying if we win these 2 first duels, we win the round, but they lose both of them. And that leaves the round up to Heroic. And a very, very one-sided affair to end this post-plant. But 96 is going to be the scoreline for that first half. ENCE still winning it out. Very important pistol coming up here. If Heroic can grab the pistol, tie up the game, they have a decent chance of taking it back. Also because Heroic are kind of 50-50 on this map, where ENCE are 55-45 stronger on the T side.
The trophy on stage.
Trophy's still missing, guys. Have you seen a DreamHack Open trophy?
Someone nicked it earlier.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what the number is for the direct lag in here, but you should call it whatever it calls. No one knows. We don't use that old technology anymore.
No.
Just go on to...
all about fax machines.
Go onto Twitter and Instagram, DM us if you've seen it.
Well, we've got ENCE with some smiles on their faces. They know they're only 7 rounds away from a victory and a semi-final to grand final placing. And to be honest, you know, this on paper should have been the harder game for ENCE out of this and a potential game against Bravado, right? But Heroic, they need to build up a fight on the second half. They got 6 rounds on the CT side of Nuke. Not the best, but it will be enough if they can find this pistol.
Let's also be real. Let's wait a second here until this pistol is over. LXCB might have a chance. Push not yet, Connor. LXCB gonna go into the vent.
That's just a fake.
But setup is ready. It's gonna be the inner explosion. 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and Molotovs.
And the heaven smoked off as well. That'll cut off the ramp rotate. There's 2 players down below. ENCE has got to go huge here. Alu's kicked it off. ENCE with a 5-7, spamming away. This is so good in this position, and he'll find both. Aerial moving in for another one, and just like that, it's the outside player who is throwing in utility, Asilian. Left in a 1-on-4. Bomb covered by ENCE, and even a wrap from the vents as well. Oh, it's actually Secret coming through. It won't make a difference, though. Asilian's got to find these players on the site before he even cares about a flank. Spotted 2, but shot none. Sergey shuts it down, and just like that, it's ENCE to 10 rounds.
One thing we have to remember as well is that ENCE had the absolute toughest way to the final. They lost to G2 in that opening game. Then they beat Optic 2-1. Very impressive win from them in that third map. Beat G2 straight up 2-0 to take the revenge. And now they're meeting Heroic in their semi-final. If they go through here, make it to the final, and of course take a big challenge against Bravado, but if they win it, they have had the toughest way possible throughout this entire event, and they still come out on top. If they take it here, though, they got to continue. They got a good chance now winning another pistol. Aerial in main. Grabs 1 frag, but instantly traded back by Merch, but then LXB comes into play. MP5 in hand, and the round is over.
Swooping in. Easy, easy, easy. ENCE are going to be able to run over that one, as you would expect. Full Glocks. So, just a formality for now. 11-6. Heroic coming in with a bye. They're going to have 3 bye rounds to make this work, assuming they don't win any of them.
And the same painting is starting to come to life as we saw on Train. Close in the beginning, but then all of a sudden ENCE just starts taking off, and we saw that with those 7 rounds in a row on the T side for ENCE, and now winning the pistol also. Great aggressive play here into ramp. Oh, Freiburg! Double from him, and Modi chiming in as well. The 2 Swedes want this differently. Ariel now. Or Ariel, if you will. In a 1v3.
2 low players. Do not count him out. Problem is, they're already down B, and he is on the wrong side of things. He's holding for that A push through Squeaky Door. Modi's going to be breaking some windows and, you know, opening some doors, so he should be somewhat aware that now this is a B plant. The question is, does Aerial even go for it, right? If we look at the money, the save actually does make a lot of sense in this position. As doable as his clutch is, Alexaby has 5K, Aerial has only 1,000, Alu's got 3. This is a good spot to save. You can buy up next round. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but what buy ever is.
It's going to be 4 out of 5, basically, with weaponry.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And then X7 can play pistol full utility if he wants to.
Look at S-Tag on the scoreboard, 22 and 13, top of the server, half the round's events. Well, not quite, but still, that's a ridiculous scoreline. This man has been firing all cylinders this event.
Yeah, that is true. ENCE will concede a round, and Heroic get on 7 to the 11 of the Finnish guys. And Freiburg here, great history within the Swedish scene.
Great round.
Exactly. Comes originally from Source, actually played in a team with RDL, the coach of Existence, who are now eliminated. RDL actually, funnily enough, was regarded as one of the best Source players at the end of that game when it died and CSGO came out, but didn't really have any luck getting into Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Became a coach instead, but Freiburg, who was not regarded as a good Source player, actually not really like in that top 20 in the world for players, but in CSGO he's had so much history.
Yeah.
Within IP, of course, most of it, in his heyday, winning major championships. And now switching over to Heroic, the king of Banana, is trying to make plays.
Heroic with the early ramp control. They leave a player there and back off. Now the question is, Modi has 2 options. He can either flank this A site from hell, or he can put pressure on B to try and draw rotations. ENCE are aware that they've given up ramp, and they are flanked all the way on secret. Well, this doesn't look too useful for them, but if Heroic do hit that A site, they're going to have quick rotating through main. And Heroic, with Modi down, putting pressure. The question is, how do ENCE react and adjust to this? And are they ready for the eventual A split? Alexaby certainly isn't. He gets decapitated. Sergey, top of heaven, drops the man with a Molotov in his hand, and he'll go down in the fire. Freiburg and S-Tag also landing shots, and just like that, the A site is open. Nice round from Heroic. That's going to be sealing the deal.
That has to be the save. S-Attack with a nice double. X7.
No gun.
No gun for you, mate.
Gave away his position. It didn't fall down the vents with the body, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's right there.
There it is, yeah.
But sometimes it can be hard to see, and sometimes there is a bug where, like,
the E button won't work.
Yeah, you gotta drop your weapon in order to pick up the weapon, because the body, for some reason, is blocking the pickup mechanism if you press the button. So you gotta drop and then auto pick up instead, but it doesn't work here because the weapon is far away.
So what ENCE's chances of winning this round? Heroic's bomb ticking off from Freiburg. There it is. Ooh! What? Wow. I thought Aerial was the one who likes jumping. Not X7.
Not really sure how the physics make sense there, but then again, it doesn't really make a lot of sense in CSGO in general.
Great
That's
shot.
That's a nice shot from S-Attack.
Very ready for that position. Good round from S-Attack again. Of course, it has been just him really looking at the scoreboard. Freiburg 2nd place. So a strong tournament from him as well. That's something to mention, but Heroic, they're not out of this game just yet. They put ENCE into pistols. Alu still has this AWP. That's got to go absolutely incredible into this round if they are going to have any chance of winning. Really, if you're ENCE here, you want to save that AWP again.
Yeah.
But you also want to put Alu in a position where he can try and win the round, and he certainly started it off.
Very nice. Now, they should put a couple of players onto Alu's position so they can pick up the weapon and give themselves a slightly bigger chance of winning the round. Taking ramp control right now, Heroic. They know, apart from the AWP, they have a big advantage.
Yeah, and this is
picked up by Alexaby.
Because they know this is eco, this is a really good call from Heroic. Instead of going down ramp to B into Alu's AWP and that other gun that was picked up, they can try and ramp heaven, but Aerial, hello? That's the bomb drop.
No,
Aerial's found 3.
With a P250 against the 4-by. What is going on?
I don't even know. S-Tag, if there was ever a time to step up, it was now, but Alu shut it down with a wallbang. That is the most obscene round in this semi-final.
Triple P250 against fully bought up Ts with AKs. First one, wow.
He gets aim punched as well. He doesn't have armor.
Jesus. And then the Alu shot, are we going to get that as well? Third one is, I don't know what Muddy's doing there. And Alu just with the wall bang. That is a tough round to lose, and that's why they're taking that timeout.
Oh my god, that was Heroic's chance to get into the game, Niels. That was their chance to make this 11-9.
Yeah, exactly, because now, like, before this round ended, you had the feeling, okay, now this is where it happens. They're going to take a couple of rounds now. We're going to tie the game up, get a close game as we expected. But now ENCE is going to be on 12. Economy for Heroic is going to be challenged, not completely. They're not going to be out of it, but that's definitely a tough break.
Oh dear, oh dear. That is going to be in Heroic's nightmares.
Yeah, they have money for the buy-up, the full buy-up that is, but it's going to be a deagle eco if they lose it. And that's with ENCE hitting 13. What a round. P250 and Alu through the door. Might even have been through the hut. Didn't really see it from both
angles. No,
angles.
it's through the hut, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
that is insane.
Yeah. Good luck recovering from that Heroic. That's the kind of round that can lose you a game just due to mentality.
It's the exact same, like, what can you say, like, thing is that aerial clutch on the first map on Train, where he clutched that 1v3.
And the momentum just
swings if you win a clutch round or a crazy round like that. And it's so hard to kind of reset yourself mentally as a team, and even more hard for the coach to just pick them up from that.
Well, let's see if Heroic have more gas in the tank, or if the petrol pump is all out. ENCE playing very passive. They're waiting for Heroic to do exactly what they want. They're giving them the room. We've got X7, nice off angle. This is good for maybe one. And then he should be falling off. Does damage and just drops. Yeah, no reason to overfight that. Gets the information, gets the damage. He can even challenge again if he wants to. It's just very risky, but he gets the bomb pre-fire. And there's the AWP moving in. Alu's here with support. They don't need to peek. They know the AWP's there. They've already spotted it. So Alu moves back. X7 drops. They got a 5-on-3. Give them ramp. That's fine, because Sergey, he's putting pressure on in the hut meanwhile.
Heroic, they need to find something special. Not only because they're running out of time, but also they're running out of time in this game.
This is 13 rounds without a doubt. Heroic know it.
And also, losing that, well, I'm not going to say terrible round from them, but it was pretty close to that. ENCE, of course, stepping up and doing huge plays, but behind every great play is a mistake made from the other team. And then straight up losing this round without even getting into ramp. These are two tough rounds mentally to deal with for Heroic. And this is where, like CSGO, when you bring it to the top level, yes, there's everything that goes on in the game. All the strats and all the duels and everything aim-wise, that's one thing. But the factor of just the mental fortitude of players on the top level and how they deal with it, that's from the reason, like, that's one of the reasons why Astralis back in the TSM days had so many problems. They battled that. And now they're one of the best teams in the world because of that mental fortitude. Heroic, do they have the same?
Well, if there was any time to dig deep, it is now. Someone's cut a hole in their pockets, and it's not just money dripping out. They've only got pistols in this round with an AK and an AWP saved on the other two.
Trusting in the Tech 9s and a Cylinder with the P250. Some utility still on the T side, so they have enough to take control outside and do the smoke setup, but at least one CT close by. Alu dropping a nade, an aerial.
Ooh, he's going to get flashed.
With the AK. He's going to get the flash timing, 1-2. Only the one. And XCB with another one onto Astillion, and Mori rotating in. Has to pick up the bomb again. Alu finds Mertz, and Alu with a double Freiberg goes down as well. Mori now 1v4.
He's on the B side though. There's no one here for ENCE. The question is, does he try and catch the rotates or just get that money, get that bomb plant? Goes for the latter. He's expecting a peek.
They need both.
But he will get gifted the plant. He's going to run back inside the decontamination. That nade really well timed. The double peek, but Mori almost lines him up. Really nice round from ENCE once again. I don't know how on earth Alu got that second kill, right? He double scoped and still found the flick shot to the player close, not in his vision. 14 rounds here. ENCE, they're bordering a victory on the map pick of Heroic.
And just as we saw the whole thing swing when that aerial clutch happened on Train, the same thing happens here. Let's see that secondary duel. Oh, he just scopes in and out, straight up. This is all coming on the back of that one round, 3 P250 kills, and a wall bang with the AWP. Turns the whole tide. That was when Heroic were getting back into the game. We thought this was going to be close, but then ENCE just shut the door on them. Not allowed in the sauna.
Yeah. And boy, are Heroic looking cold right now. They are going to need a ridiculous comeback, and right now it doesn't seem like ENCE want to give it to them. 14-8, 2 away from a grand final spot up against Bravado. Heroic, what do they got here? They've got 3 AKs, oh, sorry, 2 AKs, 2 UMPs and a pistol. This has been a...
This is the buy.
Yeah. That's all they've got. Fast play in towards ENCE. That does allow one man to drop down. That's Modi. He's holding for the rotate. LXB takes a lot of tick damage from the Molotov. But ENCE not eager to hunt that kill because the door's broken. Oh, yes, they are. Wait, LXB runs in with his back turned, and Modi catches it holding from the behind. He's now got a gun. That's upgraded the 1 pistol player, and it's also taken down a man off ENCE.
Didn't expect him to be in the vent, but Modi's there ready and waiting. Bomb still on the back of his attack. Sergey's trying to even out the round by getting the advantage back. Gets the bomb. Caught on the rotate. Nice refrag from Mert, securing the 4v3 and still securing that advantage. Making sure that they once again have to make a play, ENCE, to bring it back into 3v3.
But that's what it's been. That's just it's playmakers, friends, that have been winning them this game. It's the 3K clutches, it's the 2v5s, and Alu, he's looking to do it as well. It's Aerial catching Freiburg outside. X7 follows up, but Aerial's dead in main. That opens up the A bomb site for a plant. The thing is, Alu's coming from above, and he can try and stop it with a Molotov. Nade as well, going to land right behind it. Asilian not getting tagged. It's Mert slightly. And now the 2-on-2 retake. They come from a different position.
They're going to retake from the same position. This is going to be a risky one.
They're still focused on Heaven. Heroic don't know that Alu's rotated around with the AWP. They should work it out sooner rather than later, considering there's been no peek. And Alu going to start to creep his way up into the side, crawl towards the bomb.
X7 with side by side. Good angle.
And the timing's too good. That might be it. I think Heroic are back into this one. Alu's going to be caught out in the open with the AWP. No scope's not connecting. It's getting desperate here, and he's going to have to run. Ooh, awkward shot, and Asilian closes it out. 2 kills from each of those players in the 2v2.
And there's still a fight in Heroic.
It's not over till it's over.
Coach behind them, Peacemaker just almost folding his hands in praying position. 14-9. Heroic, they need all the help they can get. Money's getting kind of low on the CT side. It's not catastrophic just yet because Alu's still on 32. Modi once again into the vent. Mert close range with the AWP. Gets the shot onto Aerial.
But there's still a close player right behind main. There's still a man up by them, but Mert actually does find it. Mert predicting the aggressive push from ENCE. And he's just going to back off the yard.
Yeah, he has the advantage already now. Has given it to his team with those 2 frags. Can be very satisfied with his results so far in this round. And once again, it puts ENCE in a situation where Sergey feels like he has to make a play to even it out. That's always the mentality if you're CT. In a 3v4, you have to get it to at least a 3v3, because if they're allowed to execute 4v3, your chances of winning are very, very low. So the star player always feels like he has to make a play in this situation. Modi is getting so much information. Very unlucky for X7 that he doesn't get that early on. And he's making the play, Sergey! Once again, this time he's not dying out. Grabbing 2 frags, and now it's all on Freiburg.
We're going to need a clutch from the old. Freiburg's found the first. That's Sergey being cleaned up. It's X7 on the rotate, coming back round from Heaven. The Molotov missing from Freiburg. Orcs. He might be able to get the plant in anyway, but that's going to give more time for X7 to get into position. Freiburg, he needs to fake this plant if he goes on this side of the bomb site.
Can go for the plan on the opposite.
Oh, no, the timing! That Molotov could have won Freiburg the round. He would have had time to get the bomb plant and take an appropriate post plant, but no, X7 comes up from the Heaven, and you can see the disappointment on Freiburg's face.
That is so unfortunate.
One misnade.
And it's so strange, right? All these things happen in the round, and it comes down to Freiburg missing a Molotov. If he lands that Molotov, he gets a bomb plant. 1v1 post plant. He has 2 flashes and a smoke he can play around. And usually we always say unlucky when you lose a round, but most of the time it's not down to luck. But this one was unfortunate for Freiburg, and it could be the beginning of the end. Alu to the smoke. And 3v4.
LXB down on lower as well. Molotov going to try and push him back. There's 2 players here for the CT side, and X7 just shot one through the smoke like it's nothing. Only S-Tag and Mori left standing, and the B site's been covered by ENCE. There's even a man ready to rotate down the vents. That's Sergey. They are trapped in, boxed in, and they're not even aware of it just yet. They've only seen one of these players down on the B site, and they don't know which side they're in. Sergey
has been playing a sick game so far, Sergey.
Yeah. Heroic just made the best call of their life, and they have no idea. They just walked back out with the bomb. The problem is, S-Tag's committing. That peak could easily allow for one player to come in from the vents. Sergey needs to make sure he's aware of this main wrap. S-Tag walking back up, and he's all the stand between ENCE and a grand final spot here. They'll pick it up 16-9. A victory for them, 2-0, taking both theirs and their opponent map pick, and it looked very, very easy for ENCE.
What a turn of events. Someone get Freiberger Hawk right now. That's a tough one.
Yeah, and wow, what a performance from ENCE as well. I mean, those weren't close games. Those are pretty dominant scorelines if you look at it.
And that's the thing, right? Like ENCE, they have the structure. That's one of the advantages against Heroic. Heroic, they need everyone to step up and deliver their A game. In this scenario, it doesn't actually really happen for them. S-Attack had a really clutch game. Very nicely done for him. Heroic, just inches away from the level they want to be at. And you know, like, they can get there. They've shown the potential. They did in Bangkok as well. And showed that they're very close to their A level, their A game, where they want to be, but they're just not there yet. ENCE, though, they're there, they're here, and they're ready to play. And
they're going to be in the grand final up against Bravado later on today. What a story from ENCE, really. It's those two momentum rounds on either map, the clutch from Aerial, and then the P250 round up on Nuke, that just turn around the pace of this game.
Two rounds, basically, and those are like going to be the key rounds, and I'm sure the analysts will have plenty of stuff to say specifically about those 2 rounds, but we're going to throw it over to them.
Thank you so much, Risk. It's been a pleasure having you guys, and we'll see you next time around. Okay, so let's move forward, because I told y'all it was going to be easy for ENCE, and well, whether it was easy for them or not, that's up for interpretation that perhaps my analyst here can give, and that's going to be Pimp and Bled. In case you're just joining us, welcome to the analyst desk. Guys, wow, ENCE coming out in dominant fashion.
They were manhandling Heroic, I would say. I think this was a great display by ENCE. I think they were having a rather easy time. Obviously, winning against Heroic is never going to be easy, especially not when they're playing up to the level they have so far in the tournament. But this game was just all about ENCE.
Absolutely. Sergey, 50+ kills in 2 maps. He was not losing any duel. Like it's almost like every duel he took, he was winning. We did have like S-Tag kind of show up on Nuke. You know, he was putting in the numbers, but the rest of the team, like you said, like they were getting outplayed every aspect whatsoever. Even on Train earlier on, we saw on the T side, for example, they had such a good read on Heroic, and Heroic kind of felt bad. It's kind of like they ran out of ideas early on, and they were kind of playing a very reactive style. And every time they tried something new, ENCE just had a perfect read, immediate counter. They were just a better team by far. It was pretty easy for them.
Yeah, I mean, someone once said, and probably will say again, easy for ENCE, but in this situation, they were definitely in the driver's seat. You could tell they had the composure. You could tell that they were really in control of this match all the way from map 1, running it all the way into map 2. Really wasn't anything that gave them that other than landslide feel.
No, not at all. I think they played a very calm and collective game, as I like to call it. You know, as you said, they never seemed too stressed out. They never seemed to be thrown away from the game plan. And when you have a guy like Sergey who turns up the way he did, Aerial as well for that matter, you know, putting in the frags when needed, winning the rounds that is supposed to be the key rounds every single time, well, you're going to have a good time, and you're going to have an easy time if you are ENCE.
An easy time with easy tag, maybe, perhaps, but nonetheless, that one's done and dusted. He did put up quite a fight over there for Heroic, 41, 10, and 37 representing the side, but it was not enough. And perhaps if we start to take a look at ENCE, Jacob, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the scoreboard right here, I think a little bit disappointed in Merch showing in this very important semi-final. I think he's a player that is supposed to be able to go toe-to-toe with Elo, and he has been by far the best player as of this event. And as of lately, he was just simply not able to get it done this time around. So a little bit disappointed in him, because I know he can be much better than this.
Well, where do you think this takes this... Sorry, we almost had a malfunction here, and it was almost terrifying for all 3 of us. Luckily, we were able to rein that in and get it under control here. Kind of like what Heroic can hope to do in the future. What do you think happens with them going forward? I mean, they have had a pretty solid showing here at the end of the year, but overall, what can we say about this Heroic lineup?
I think it's pretty good from where they are right now, right? They're not exactly tier 1 yet. They're kind of like a tier 2 knocking. And this table is very scary right now. Yeah, but they're kind of like knocking on the door of tier 1. They're not quite there yet. But the good thing for them is they are beating most teams below them very convincingly, right? They won Toyota as well. And Guys, I mean, all right.
I'm not touching it, man.
I'm just saying.
Focus.
All right. Anyway, I'm trying to focus here. The thing is, I think they can really go on ahead and they can really do much better. I don't think they're going to be too worried about it. ENCE was just the best team right now, at least in this tournament, by the looks of things. And they lost to a better team. There's nothing much to be worried about it. They can just go back to their homework, fix the small little issues they had, try to be more prepared, probably, because they felt a little underprepared at what ENCE was throwing at them. So I think they'll be, they should be okay with this. A little disappointed, obviously. You do want to win. You do want to reach the grand finals. But all things considered, I think they should be pretty all right.
This next gentleman rocked 52 and 27 KD. He came in with a starch 25 positive there on that ratio, not to mention 107.1 ADR here in this semifinal. It's going to be Sergey. You came through, Surgeon, man. Congratulations. Tell me a little bit about what you're feeling right now with your boys.
We're all feeling great, of course. We came here to win, of course, so now we're one step closer. We got to the final, and we're all feeling great, yeah.
Yeah, well, couldn't have said it much better. And I guess for you guys, let's talk a little bit about your preparation coming into today, because there had to have been a little bit of uneasiness battling all the way that you guys did up to this point.
Yeah, we have prepared really good, like this heroic match and the best of 3 matches. We have watched demos of enemies, and we knew what to do in the map picks, and we had all prepared, pistol rounds and everything. So we were pretty confident coming up to this game.
Going into the grand finals, you're facing off against Bravado, who, let's be honest, we haven't seen much from them. Like, we've seen a few online games here and there. Are you just going to be going in, like you said, you prepared for heroic? Do you have a game plan for Bravado, or just going to be doing what you guys are used to? Just going to be playing with the defaults?
Yeah, I think it's more about playing our own game in the final, because it's hard to watch the enemies' demos because they have only played like online games and stuff. So it's more of our own game.
I want to talk a little bit more about you, Sergey. There's no doubt that you are one of the brightest talents within the scene right now. You are 16 years old and you're playing some of the best Counter-Strike I've seen anyone do at your age. What is it that enables you to be that good at the game?
Well, I have played a lot, so I guess that makes up a lot. And yeah, I always try to get better, so.
Yeah, because there was this period, I believe it's 6-7 months ago, where you had a little break. You were not sure whether you wanted to continue. Has anything changed ever since?
Yeah, back then I just had I didn't have any motivation to play. Like, I didn't feel like I would want to play, so then I just took a break. And after the break, when Alu came and asked to make a new team, so, then I got my motivation back, and it's been back since.
Well, cool. You guys have definitely been showing force, and I think there are a ton of Finns back home that want to hear what you have to say in Finnish, so perhaps you can do that.
No, kiitokset kaikille. Ei kai siinä sitten.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Got it.
I know what? You guys have an entire grand final to prepare for, best of 3. So I'm going to let you go do that. We'll catch up with you a little bit later on.
Thank you.
Not a man of all the words, but he did say the important words, which is, yes, he found that motivation, and you could certainly see it reflected there in his scoreline. This guy is a powerhouse. He's a monster.
He is indeed. Doesn't have to speak much, a man of few words, like most Finns are. Although Natu could probably would teach him a little bit when it comes to like maybe some of his interviews. It was fun though, and I think he is going to be feeling pretty confident going to the grand finals here.
Well, the confidence levels are peaking around here, sort of like Jacob with those 3 reasons why. Brought to you by HacksGG. Do it to him, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm just going to give you 3 reasons why ENCE were the better team in this matchup. And I think the first one, we touched a little bit upon it already, is the fact that they were playing something I like to call calm and collective Counter-Strike. And what I mean by that is the fact that we don't see them get stressed out, even in the pressure situations, even when it comes down to the narrow situations, 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, and hectic rounds. It always seems like ENCE is pretty much in control. It seems like they don't get stressed out. And I think it has something to do with the fact that they are very calm by nature. You just saw this interview as well. Man of few words, maybe, but they're really really calm in the way they approach the game, and it seems to me like they play it clever, and I think that's a great attribute to this team, and I think that's why they outmatch Heroic in one of the areas here. While the second reason is the fact that the individual skill of this team is better than you may actually think. I think we have talked about it already. Obviously, you have Sergey, who's 16 years old right now, who's doing one hell of a job. You have a guy like Ariel, who's also doing one hell of a job. Alu, obviously, is supposed to be the star of this team, but I don't think he is anymore. He's just a very good player and a fundamental part of this team as well. So the star players and the individual skill of this lineup is actually better than you may initially think when you compare them to some of the other top teams. And I think they get a little bit underrated in that aspect, and so did I sometimes. So I think that's why they outmatch Heroic as well. And the last reason, obviously, we have to talk about him. He's 16 years old, he's a wonder kid, and he's called Sergey. I have not seen anyone at that age be so dominant and be so good, especially not considering that he had motivational problems, as he said at one point. I think this kid is here for the future, and if he can keep that in line, if he can keep that motivation up, I think this is going to be one of the best players in the world for the future. Let's not forget, the kid is 16 years old, he's playing on some big stages, and he's doing well all the time.
He is indeed doing that. Thank you very much, and thank you, Hacks, for those 3 reasons. We had to bring him out of Jacob with just a pick hammer and an axe.
Yeah, thanks, Trace.
It had to be done. Either way, still a big fan of that sweater. I think he's got us both beat today.
Yeah, I mean, that's phenomenal. Can I touch it?
Sure.
Nice. Kind of looks like a landing strip for airplanes. But with that, of course, we're going to continue on with the show. The show must continue to go forward, and I guess we also need to tell you about Astro and how you can join the family. Head over to www.astrogaming.com. Make sure to check out all the offerings from Astro Gaming and join the family via the link on the screen right now. Guys, that just about wraps it up, and we have set ourselves up for a grand final. Bravado and ENCE, unlikely suspects in Bravado, are going to be looking to get those avocados out and put them on display here all afternoon long at the DreamHack Open. And, well, we're going to be back in about 30 minutes. So make sure you got all the popcorn, all the cereal you need for this barn-burning best-of-3 extravaganza live from the DreamHack Open in Jönköping. We'll be back soon, so make sure you're here with us.